What's going on, friends? Sam Pretty's back once again. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and it may end up getting slightly better, certainly if you end up winning one of these Artillery Sidewinder X4 Pluses, which we've got in the box here at the minute. The idea of this stream today is to give away, thanks to Artillery, 3 different printers. In addition to that, Polymaker are also sponsoring this as well, so we've got some filament to give away as well. So we've got to get this out of the box. So without further ado, let's get into this montage. Here we go.
You are watching a master at work.
There we go. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. So today's stream is with this, the Artillery X4 Plus. Are we working? Are we sounding okay? Are we good? The way that this works today is we are giving away 3 3D printers and some Polymaker filament, dependent on how many people are on the stream at any given time. There are currently 80 people watching, so we can give away maybe 8 spools. The way that you'll win that today, and that's the Polymaker's filament and also the printers, is by scanning this code, which is up here. You scan this code and put in your details, and you can do that now, and maybe we'll just give stuff away at the beginning. Imagine that. We give some stuff away at the beginning. We're going to get into that, but I'll remove that. So if you haven't scanned it, more fool you. Someone did scan it. Should we put it back up? This is like teasing, right? 5 people have scanned. It tells me how people have scanned it. So it goes into a Google form. You put in, I don't want to know what your email address or anything is like that, but I have to get that in order to give you the information that you need to get the bits and pieces. So it's all good anyway. There's 18 people now that scanned it. You're going to have to be quick because I'm going to take this down. 23 people have scanned it. This is exciting stuff. So here it is anyway. I'm going to take it down. Here we go. So let me just show you something. Okay, so first and foremost, this is Clipper. This is the access to the Artillery machine. It's all good. It isn't full Clipper. It's a restricted Clipper. And if you've ever used Clipper before, you'll probably know that, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to warm the bed up here. Actually, am I going to warm the bed up? Yeah, I am going to warm the bed up. Here we go. Let's hit that button, and that's... what do we do? What do we do? Let's go... Let's just hit print. Let's hit print and let's get this going. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So today's been an interesting day, not only because I've been at a spa for most of the day, but it's been an interesting day because I've also witnessed the artillery Facebook groups, which are, unfortunately, full of people that are perhaps a little bit negative, and they've had negative experiences with this machine or other machines, because this machine actually isn't out yet. So this machine is pretty much going to be in the arms of people that review like me. And from what I've seen so far, other than this bed that looks like a very comfortable hammock, if I'm being completely honest with you, it's not been too bad. It's been okay. And when we do these reviews, and it's sometimes the backlash of the community is kind of a little bit painful, because the bottom line here is, ultimately you do get, when you do reviews and when you get a level, right, you do get a 3D printer for free. But the bottom line of this is that it's never really for free, especially if you're doing content creation and stuff, because there's time, there's effort, money, editing time away from the family, all that kind of stuff. So ultimately it's kind of like a job. Okay. So I do take a tiny bit of resentment to people saying, oh, you got a free machine, well done you, we're here in tatters. Now, what I tend to do is that if I have reviewed a machine, or if someone's having some real problems and someone reaches out to me, I usually try and put them in touch with people that can maybe help them from that company. So it's been one of those days, and I kind of felt like being shilled out as being this person that's doing this thing. I'm not receiving any payment from Artillery for looking at this. This also isn't a full review today. This is going to be more of an overview. You've seen the thing come out of the box. It's very, very similar in its design to, a Creality CL10, one of the originals. So we've got a 300 by 300 by 400 bed. It's running klipper. There's some old school features to it, like it's kind of bizarre, like 6 wheels that you have to kind of bed level manually, get the paper out. So it's old school in that respect. But I can show you a photo of that. It's kind of strange. It's a weird kind of complex mix of things. So just to show you, that's the bed leveling. So it's got the old school springs on it, and the idea of this, of course, is for you to essentially kind of pre-level your bed prior to the auto bed leveling taking place. This is like putting the foundations down properly. Now, what this guy was saying in particular is that he'd had a bad experience, and he wasn't happy that ultimately I got something for free and blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, with a lot of the machines that I get, it is what it is. What can I do about that? But it's just a weird kind of complex feeling into something that, only if you're in this position, you kind of maybe understand it, or if you're in a different position to that, maybe you'd understand it. But the weird thing about it is that the print on this at the minute has been pretty good, and I'll show you that in the form of this. Now, the reason I got it out of the box is because I did read a bunch of stuff, and I was like, is this going to be good or is it going to be bad? Now, fresh out of the box, and again, this is my opinion, and that's what I think people really should value, is the fact that it's my opinion on something. Someone might get one of these and have a completely different experience. It might not work out of the box. And here's the thing. It had problems out of the box. And these are the kind of prints that I was getting to start with. So as you can see there's kind of weird over and under extrusion. Maybe there was a little bit of kind of shifting on the layers as well. Then this was a complete blockage. So we had a block on the hot end. So basically I had to take the hot end to bits. And as you can see here, it's very reminiscent of a LDO style motor, which are now very, very popular. And of course, the hot end now isn't too distinguishable from a Bamboo Lab printer, or potentially a Creality printer if it's the K1 series. So we're going in this direction right now, where the ceramic heaters are certainly, seemingly, better than maybe we've had previously in various other generations. And the problem that I had with this, and the fix actually for this, was thermal dynamics, and making sure that you actually had some sort of thermal compound between the heater and the bit that it's heating. If there's no thermal compound, potentially you're going to get gaps there, and it's not going to heat that hot end properly. And the results, again, are, got to be honest, pretty staggering. Although I'm blowing out with light here, but ultimately, as I showed in this photo here, it does look awesome. So I'm impressed with it, but that doesn't mean that necessarily you'll be impressed with it. But so far, other than that initial problem, everything seems to be good. There's a few things that haven't worked on the printer. For example, when I plugged a webcam into it, that didn't really kind of work, and I'll have to look into that a little bit more as the days go on and stuff. But ultimately, at the minute, it seems to be good. So the format of today is we're going to print something out. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. We might have some people jump in and have a chat about it. I know this is now out in the wild. I know Feder from 3D SOS has done a live stream on this already. Tripod's Garage has got one of these as well. And the weird thing about Feder's stream as well, that he printed a benchy and the top of the benchy was pretty awful. I've been back to Artillery a few times over the past couple of days because they've just returned back from their holidays, and they've thrown a bunch of settings at me, and we've made some changes. And we were getting things like, I don't know if you can really see that. It's a little bit blown up in here, but in here there's a load of holes, and there's a ton of reasons for that, but the quality wasn't very good. Since we've made those changes and I've now imported it into Prusa Slicer, we're now getting far better prints, and categorically it's a nice print. So I think you've got to separate from the history, and the history of Artillery has been a little bit checkered in some places. For instance, if you've been in this as long as I have, 7-8 years now, if you had the Artillery Hornet, that wasn't a great machine, but the Artillery X2 was a good machine. So you have this balance, and things are about to start kicking off over here. It is running klipper, so it is slightly faster than your average Marlin printer. It's actually quite loud now I'm doing this live. It can apparently print up to 500 millimeters per second, but it's tuned to 300 with 10,000 on the acceleration, which I think is pretty reasonable and pretty good for the type. Again, it's a 300 by 300 by 400, and on top of that, the advert for it kind of had a Kanye West vibe. So let's look at that. That's old Kanye West, not modern Kanye West, by the way. Either way, it is what it is. Let's get back to the QR code. So I think we're going to give a printer away right at the get-go. So I'll do, let's see how many people have put in for this. Let's have a look at the chat as well. Let's put the code back up in the corner here. You scan this, you're good to go. Incidentally, they've also told me that if you do decide to buy an X4 Plus, with the link that I'm going to put up in a little bit, they also give you 5 kilos of filament to go with that as well. It won't be polymaker filament, but it will be filament that they're going to be supplying in the price there. And the price, by the way, for this is, it's punchy, it's $429 or 429 euros. So that means that you end up paying more because you're in Europe than you do in the USA. So there you go. Happy days, right? Happy days. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Liz is very kindly looking at things. She looked very nervous then. She rolled an eye. Let's have a look. 6 leveling knobs. Yes, Zach, we've got 6 leveling knobs. Stephen Paul's here. Oh, God, there's loads of people here. Builders Mark's here. Tripod's here. Stephen Paul is here. Maker Mine Nexus is here. Hirsty's here. Phil's here. Pete's here. Hey, Pete, how we doing? Phil's here. Carl's here. Lair X Lair's here. Phil. Beautiful Phil. Sideline Review. How you doing, dude? Pez Liz. Look at that. Alec Prince. Yep. Keep on scanning. We've got 100 people in for this at the minute. No, it's not a 0.6. It's actually a 0.4. And it's a weird nozzle as well. I replaced the nozzle because it was getting this weird under extrusion and the prints just weren't great. And again, it's down to that thermal aspects of it. Thanks, dude. I'm guessing that's to do with the whole review thing. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not butthurt about it. I just feel that sometimes we've just got to be a little bit, okay, we've got a problem. How are we going to deal with it? Crying about it, posting a load of crap about it. If the company's not listening and they're in Chinese New Year, like, what do you expect is going to happen? They're a small company. It is what it is. Internet people cry, hey, dude, how are you? They will, unfortunately. Where's the QR code? It's up there. I appreciate that I'm following. I'm going to try and pull back. Is this yours? No, it's not a pre-production unit. This is not a pre-production unit. This is the real deal. So what happened in this instance, just to explain, I've not worked with artillery since the Hornet. And then they sent me the X2, which I did nothing with because I can't even remember why. It's at the other studio. If someone wants it in the UK, they can have that other machine as well. I've got to get rid of a lot of machines at the moment. So they reached out. Again, this is the thing. With Chinese businesses, generally what you tend to find is that you'll get a bit of a churn. So maybe someone will be there for 6 months to a year to 2 years, and then you'll find that somebody new gets involved with it. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, somebody reached out. And they were super awesome and really nice about stuff. And I said, I'm happy to do a live stream. I shied away from doing a review, but actually, I think this is worth a review. I think people need to see some of the function and the features of this. John's got a review coming out as well. That's going to be out in the next couple of days. So, like I say, there's a few functions. It's a cool machine, and it's reminding me very much of the CR10. Back in the day, the 300, 400 thing. Looks awesome. Now, there is a couple of other things that we need to talk about. Oh, no, the Hornet. Nice shirt, Sam. Thanks, man. It's not new. It's my new Polymaker swag. It's the real Sam Prentice swag. I don't know if I'm allowed to sell it. I need to speak to Nick from Polymaker about that. Also, QR code. It's there. Pick a winner. We're going to do it. We're going to do it in a minute. Don't worry. 10K acceleration. That's half the cable. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, this isn't a Core XY printer. This is a bed slinger. It is what it is. Okay, Stephen Gittins. I've had an artillery genius for almost 3 years. It's still going strong. Hope to get an X4 Plus soon. I think if they can work out some of the little niggles with this, I think we're onto a good thing. Isn't Gary, the funny thing about all that isn't this really what this is all about? I do find it quite 3D printing seems to be going in a direction now that seems to be, it's not about tinkering and doing that stuff, it's about the machine that you're going to use to 3D print, and that's not always been the way. So again, it's going to appeal to some, it's not going to appeal to everybody. I'm happy with that. It is what it is. DFX Factory, hey man, how you doing? Good to see you. Silver Bear is here. Jerry's here, of course he is. Hello, buddy. 73D, how we doing? I've seen you on Polymaker channel. Rocky Morales, how we doing? Yeah, so let's talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about it now. The screen is a bit weird because some of the English text kind of goes off the side. So you might get printer, but the R is kind of on the next line and stuff like that. I highlighted that. Nothing kind of too crazy though. There's not been anything that's been completely out there. Hursty, how we doing, buddy? Hope you're well. You can't scan, you're on the phone. Okay, that is a problem. Liz, can we post the link up as well, please? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Matt German's here. Of course he is. My God, there's lots of people here tonight. Hey. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Yeah, okay. So if you're in the phone, we're gonna put that link up now, so you have a fair chance. Oh my God, there's so many people messaging. I'm gonna K2 Kevin's here. Hit me up if you want to get rid of some printers. So this is the thing, right? So with the printers that I'm giving away, it's got to go to a good home. I'm not gonna just dish out printers left, right, and centre, although I kind of need to. Happy Extruder, hope you're well. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Lots and lots of people in the chat. Right, I'm going to... Peslis brought me here. Hey, Zombie Hedgehog's here. Look at that. He's got his tight pants on. Love that. So, yeah, so bottom line is, bit of string in there, but I think it's all right. There are some problems with it. The accelerometer, you need to buy yourself, okay? So that's like if you've had rat rigs or Vorons, you can get the ADXL accelerometer chip. You solder the cables, and then you have to then plug that into the board. Now, Artillery have said that happens at factory, and when they set everything up, because generally the way that the factories work is they will pre-build your printer, okay? Everything's put together. They then do a bunch of tests on it. So normally when you get it, you'll get like a different color filament that comes out of the nozzle, right? So they've tested it, it extrudes, it prints, there'd be a test file. You can see in Klipper as well that there is previous prints. And if I whiz over to that now, hang on a second, thank you. Oh, can you not post it? Give me 2 secs. If we look at the print jobs that we've done here, oh no, actually it's not there. The history though, hang on, donk, donk. So we've got stuff that was happening in potentially in December, etc., etc. So this is probably just a carbon copy of another file, but some of these files would have been the ones that will ultimately would have been used and would have been shared. Give me a sec. Sorry, Liz, I didn't realise that. Let me post this thing into here. I'm doing it. There's the link. The link is also at the top. The link is also over there. No worries, thanks. So I'll give you a couple more minutes, then we're going to go and we're going to give a printer away and 2 rolls of filament straight away. And then if anybody wants to know more about this, lots of people talking. Hang on a minute, fingers crossed. Yep, good stuff. Can we talk about the ceiling? You can talk about the ceiling, of course you can. Yeah, scan the QR code, which is here, just here. Win by scanning. So this stream is not sponsored by PCBWay for a change. I thought I'd give them a night off. But it is sponsored by Polymaker, so thank you once again to those guys. And also thank you very much to, hey, how are you? This guy, honestly, follow this guy. He's incredible human being. Nice man. What was I saying? What slices? Yeah, so okay, so that's another thing, right? So the printer, in my opinion, prints well. There are some shortcomings. Not so much with the hardware. We've got linear rails. That looks awesome. It's running a... I need to be careful how I don't swear. It's running a modified, rightfully or wrongfully, version of Prusa Slicer, which is it needs an update. Firstly, some of the prints that I had coming out of this, including this one here, if I can maybe get some. Is that going to work? It's probably not. Don't worry, I've got a Polymaker box here. It's almost like it was planned, right? You can see the top of that. That's a speed issue. So there was some dialing in that needed to be done. I was still thinking at that point that it's probably something to do with the thermal issues that I was having. They resliced it, and like I say, there's a few modifications that they're going to make. So what I've done is I've taken those modifications and I put them into Prusa Slicer, and following this stream, I'll put a link into a Google Drive, and if you want to, you can grab the Prusa Slicer profile that I've created, or Orca Slicer, or whatever you want to put it into. So there you go. It has been a while, hasn't it, non-fam? It has been a little while. Again, what I want to be doing from now on, so the content is coming. There's loads of things that's happening. There's things in the background you might have already spied that's coming up, which is really nice. The next few weeks are going to be interesting. We've got a new editor that's on board now. He's doing a bunch of stuff for us towards the end of the month. I've got an event with E3D, filming with those guys as well. Then I'm back out to China. After this stream tonight, there is another stream talking about the end of 3v3 with Creality. You never know who might pop up on that stream at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just saying, 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's why I get paid the big bucks. No. Anyway, let's move on. Hang on. What's this? I can just about handle one stream up. Yeah, so here's the thing though, right? With the streams that I'm doing, there'll always be a giveaway. Always be a giveaway. And hopefully it'll always be a printer. That's what I'm trying to do. The millimeters per second on this are 500 millimeters per second is what they've tested in the lab, but the real conditions of it are 300. That's my tests. That's all good. Happy days. So there you go. I'll be asleep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right, come on then. Let's stop messing around. Couple more seconds and scan that code. We're going to give away. What are we going to give away? Okay. So we're going to give 2 rolls of polymaker filament away, which will come to you just like this. The way that works is basically I'll send you, after the stream, I'll send you an email with a link on it. The link will go to Polymaker, and you'll basically select what you want from the Polymaker store, and they will ship it out to you, including in the price, which is nice. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, so 500 millimeters a second. Real time conditions is 300, 10,000 millimeters on the acceleration as well. You love the... Well, what can I say? Oh my God, what is going on? People are finding out what I've been up to. Yeah, the Mincian guys are awesome. And it measures stuff as well. Let's have a look at what's going on with the printer just for a few moments, just while I get up. There's a lot of responses in here. My word, look at that. Right, okay. First name and surname is probably preferable, guys, just so you know. Wow, there are a lot of names in here. A lot of names. Let's put this into a spreadsheet, which is here. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet. Let's take my name out of it first and foremost. Right, we have a lot of people that want to win one of these printers. So we've got, hang on, let's copy this. Here we go. Right, so I'm just going to put this into the wheel of names. You can still enter because we've got more stuff to give out. There are a lot of names in there. So we're going to put out, and the people that are going to win, let's have a look and see what we've got here. 3 printers to give away. So we're going to give the Artillery 3 Plus away first. So that's the generation before this one. Let's feed all this information in and bring up the wheel of names. As if by magic. This is cool. I like giving stuff away. This is a nice, positive thing to be doing. Pez agrees. There she is, look. Oh dear. Whoops. Sorry about that. Sorry. Wrong button. Right, let's stop sharing that one. Let's get this other screen up. And the wheel of names should appear. Now then. Good luck, everyone. Let's have a quick look at the comments. What we need to do first and foremost, though, is probably shuffle the names. Can you see your name there? Is your name there? Let's have a look. Right, so let's go back to the stream. Good luck. Hursty, hope you're well, buddy. Yeah, so we're printing with the Polymaker filament at the moment, and that's Polymaker Red PLA. It's nice. It's nice stuff. Can it print ABS and ASA? I'd imagine it could do, and if you use that Vision Miner stuff, it's a bed leveling, it's a bed adhesion glue, which is absolutely amazing. I swear by it. I've been printing ASA with all sorts of weird and wonderful printers over the last couple of weeks, so it's all good. There's honestly so many messages, guys. Hope you're well. Right, come on then. So this is going to be for one spool of Polymaker filament. Are you ready? Can it print chocolate? No. Wheel of names. It'll help if I click on it, won't it? There we go. Right, here we go. Polymaker filament. Here we go. First name is. I'm going to write it down on the Polymaker box. There are so many names I can't even see the names. And our winner is, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Shepherd. Well done, dude. Polymaker. Well done, well done. Round of applause, round of applause. I'm going to leave you in there. Okay, so this is something else that I'm going to do. I'm just going to, if you win, I'm just going to leave you in there. That's jolly nice of me, isn't it? Well, how many people on the stream? Quite a few. So I could give away quite a few rolls of Polymaker filament. Let's do another 2 rolls of filament then. Keep pressing the wrong button. Here we go. Another Polymaker spool. And our winner is, ladies and gentlemen, Timor 714. Timor 714. I'll write that down as well. I'll close that. You can enter as many times as you like. You can keep pushing it forward. Let's give away another 2 because we can. Okay. First board, Polymaker filament. Emily Comp. Emily Comp? I'm glad that wasn't like a weird name. Anyway, let's close that down. One more then. Here we go. We'll do some more in a little bit. And obviously then we've got to do the printer next as well. So the next winner of the Polymaker filament is Sean. Well done, Sean. Hopefully there's not 2 Seans. I'll leave you there though. Okay, so the winner, or the person that's going to win this fabulous printer, which the name of it escapes me, the X3 Plus, which I'm going to guess. Let me just make sure it is what it is. Yes, the X3 Plus, which I'm going to guess is a 300 by 400. It's the generation before this one. And our winner for that is going to be X3 Plus. It's exciting times. Here we go. Oh no. Oh god. Let's have a look.
We'll re-roll. We'll re-roll.
You wanna roll it again?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
sure?
I'm not in the US. I can't get it anyway, right? I'm not in the US.
Do you want it? Do you want it, or do you want me to re-roll?
I could try it.
You try. Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah,
Liz.
I would make content. I could make content.
Okay. All right. Off you pop. There you go. You can't make it up. It's not rigged. But Pezliz there is certainly helping me out, so really appreciate that. There you go. So we've got 2 more printers to give away, and we've got more Polymaker filament to give out. If you've got any questions on this printer, I'm very, very happy to take them. It's looking like it's an MKS board that's inside of this. It's a 300-degree hot end, as you saw in the advert. Look at her face, look how happy she is. Wow, look at that. How many bamboos do you have, Pezliz? Yeah, so like I said before, I think it's a good product. It hasn't always been the case with some of the printers that I've received from Artillery. That's it, you know, it's an honest opinion, right? But this one does seem pretty good, certainly if they manage to sort out the thermal issues that I've had, and hopefully that will be forthcoming. Tears. How fast is it? Yep. So they're suggesting it's 500 millimeters per second, but currently it's 56.5. But of course, we are doing a vase style print at the minute, and as I say, it's printing nice. It's printing well. It didn't print so well earlier on. Hello, awkward box in the background there. Probably not quite as awkward as this, but there you go. Can I show you that? Okay, I'll give you a raw example. So, right. So I don't know. You probably can't see this. You can see around the abs here. There's some lines, but on the reprint, again, there's no lines. I apologise. This is legitimately what Artillery told me to test, and it was as much a surprise to me coming down and look at that on the build plate that it was the U right now. So yeah, happy days. Yeah, let's have a look. See what people are saying. Ooh la la. Yeah, so X4 Plus maximum of 500 millimeters per second, but again, in real world conditions, are you really going to get that? Let's wait and see what the review says. So it's quite compared to the X3 Pro. It may well be. It's still quite noisy. The internal fan seems to have kind of a bit of a weird noise to it as well. Certainly when it's warming up and all that kind of stuff. So 100%, I guarantee you, Alison, 100%. That's what they said. So anyway, right. I tell you what, we're going to bring in someone else that's also got this very printer, and we're going to ask them briefly what they think about this. So welcome along, John from Tripod's Garage.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hi, John. How's it going?
I was just taking a nap back here.
Yeah, cool. Sorry. Was it a boring stream?
No. Bear
Okay.
sleeping on the concrete floor in the garage, so he looked comfortable and he was making me sleepy.
Gotcha. So here's the thing, right, John? You have this machine. You got it before me. I think when I was in the States, you had it, and you were saying some good things about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it with that. I do what's called an out-of-box experience. I review what I get, and not everyone may get the same results. Like you had it where you had a clog. I had one clog, and it was me not, bringing the printer up to temp. So it was my fault. So it's not in the video. So, but everything else besides they're cheating on the benchy, so to speak, which I call them out in my video on that. It's you can see that.
What filament have you printed in there?
Of course, Polymaker. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
The box is somewhere, but you can see it right there.
There it is.
Yeah. So these speed benchies. I'm really tired of doing benchies, but they have it in there. It's their 17 minute benchy. It had like 5% infill, and so it's literally you can tell. And then when you're printing it, and I printed out one with their artillery slicer, and it was at 30 minutes, and it came out fine. Just like you, and we don't even talk about it off camera or anything. I did a bigger print too.
Okay.
And I wanted some stout walls on it, planter box. So, or if it could be a trash can, or you could just, do whatever you want with it.
I mean, that's a good look. I've got to be honest. It's a good look.
Yeah, and you mentioned the mesh, right? That you could the hammock. I think I said it looked like a valley in my video, and
it's only off by about 0.5, but it is a hammock. It legitimately is a hammock.
But I mean, it did a good job. I mean, it just, one thing I have to say though, because I did a first layer test, is the build sheet. You could that's actually that's TH3D bed cement. So let's turn on the other side that doesn't have it. Look how aggressive that is. It's a very aggressive PEI. And when it would not do a first layer test, I did it like 4 and it would just all come apart. So if you're looking for a first layer test, don't even bother. I believe it's the build sheet that does it. But once you get past that, I mean, it looked like it was a glistening first layer. I peel it and it's just all over the place. So, but I mean, otherwise, box experience, positive, and I had nothing but trouble with the Hornet as well. I never released a video.
We shared that. We bonded very much over that printer. You know, but that's the thing, right? This is the thing, right? I say, hey, you know what? We're giving these printers away. What do you want to do? Artillery have been really nice. Well, they don't reply to emails. They don't do that. I'm like, dude, they're on holiday. That's that. I mean, I get it. If you spent money on something and it's gone wrong, right? I get it. I totally get it. But when it's a company in a completely different country, I think you kind of got it. I mean, we know because it's old school, right? Because we've been there, we've seen it, we've done it. But I was accused of being mentally ill by this guy. I was, berated on this.
So you're trying
Facebook.
to say that you're not you skipped your medication when you were replying?
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? You know, I was thinking I'm mentally ill. I'm sitting in a spa, pal. And I am driving the algorithm by just replying to you. It is what it is. But I'm not butthurt. It is what it is. But like I say, if you do any printer, it first and foremost, get yourself onto a forum, get yourself a little bit of support. And again, unless it's Prusa, unless it's even Bamboo, their support tickets have been really, really good. You're not dealing with a company of that size.
They are a small company. I mean, granted, they've been around for I reviewed, just like you, the original Sidewinder, the Genius, the X2. You were actually here in the States with me when we did the live stream together, and you got yours. So that's why your review didn't go out. And Hornet, the reason why I didn't release the video was I would have had 2 bad, really scathing reviews back to back. And I just didn't feel like then I've been called everything, right? Because, because you have your camps that are out there. Camp this, camp that. And I'm like, I don't belong to a camp. I just, review what I get, and that's it. Let them battle
that's
out.
It. But the thing is, though, right? It's not for free, right? And I know your schedule, okay? And, my schedule. The thing is, you're away from your family. It affects everything. Doing reviews is a time wasting exercise a lot of the time, just to get a bed leveled and all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about the bed leveling just for a second. So this is quite a unique printer because we got 6 old school bed leveling knobs on this and some paper. So
it includes the paper. It includes the leveling.
Two lots of paper. So the funny thing about that is it's weird because I'm going down the road at the minute going, there's going to be a time where these young'uns aren't going to see a 3D printer where you have to level the bed because it's all taken away from you. And lo and behold, Artillery have brought it back. But why? Why?
The thing is I mentioned in mine is like, it shouldn't be there. You got 2 beautiful linear rails on there that's butter smooth. You have a stamped steel carriage on the bottom that should, if it's stamped steel, it should have within the variances that it needs that the bed compensation should actually do. To me, it's a give an option for people to have standoffs and get rid of it, completely. I mean, there's honestly, you have 121 points on it, and it should work. I'm not trashing that's literally the biggest gripe I have about it is that because it's just like the Elegoo bigger machines, the 6 leveling knobs, but they're running on V wheel. So I kind of get that, but
so in a few minutes we're going to give another printer away. If you're interested in this, and if you just want to do me a favor, just scan this code because just have a quick look, see what you think it's about. Just have a quick look at that. Yeah, thanks, John. So why do you think they've gone in that direction with the bed?
Well, some people will say it's precision based, right? That you are having, it helps with any deviations that already might be with the process of manufacturing the machine. To me, it's
but what we're getting there is we're getting this. Okay, so I've got a hammock on mine. So let's pull it up. Let's pull up.
I have the same hammock on mine, so
you have the
it's
same
kind of ironic. Yeah.
Right. So what we've got there is we've got this deviation that's coming up like this, and that's that's not the gantry. That's the bed coming up, as so. I mean, you're not gonna by pulling it down, you're just gonna get a curve the other way now, because ultimately it feels like that's potentially straight, right?
Yeah, I would say just trust your manufacturing process and just get rid of them completely. I think we're well beyond I've been not a fan of what's called tinkering since I entered the space 4 years ago. Because these printers are advertised, you build it and you go. It's been that way for the 4+ years that I've been using them. And but the bed compensation works with the 121 points. When you have that many, it better work. And you saw the bottom of my prints, all of them look fantastic. So if you should be able to just.
I've got to say, actually, you're right. I mean, the bottoms on these are great. And to be fair with you, and I know I popped it up earlier, but let me just show you these prints again. That's what we're at. That's where we're at now, and I think that's quite nice. This is where I started having issues, though, right? So you can see that. And again, there was 2 issues with this. One was the heat, because you need to get this up to 220, and I think that's the thermal issues. I can run it cooler now, but going from that to that, I mean, it's a sweet print now. Again,
I didn't have any of.
What does this remind you of?
Well, let's talk about the extruder a little bit. So, I like it. I like the assembly, right? It's the route that a lot of manufacturers are going, but I would prefer that I have that wheel in the front, that just so I could unclog it without trying to rip the whole thing apart. I mean, I get that the fan is there, they're cramming things in, and then you have the Allen key to adjust your tension.
I mean, that cool block, John, I mean, it's quite a size.
It's massive, yes. And so, but otherwise, I mean, no printer is perfect. And don't take any of this is the criticism that you get, right? When we kick the tires on these machines. I know Sam does. He knows that we easily 2+ weeks into each content. So there's no such thing as free. Like, wife and I just went out and got our taxes done this morning. Then we went shopping. And I said, I have to do a voiceover. And then I'm joining Sam on this stream. So there's tight schedules. And when those are missed, and when you have a problem, you do reach out to a manufacturer if you can. And there was a huge delay, 2 weeks, and push all my content to the end of the month. And I have, just some questions. Nothing with the printer for me, but other products. So it set my whole schedule back. So
just so you know, Colin, it's UK, Europe, and USA, and maybe Canada. We'll work that out. We'll make that happen. Don't worry, we'll make that happen. So, just while we're on that moment, just a second, we have now finished this print. It's hot, so I won't pull it off, so to speak, just yet.
Do you want to talk about the butt wiper?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I almost forgot about it. I just threw it in the video.
Yeah, so this is it does it in a weird way though, right? So just to explain, so what happens is it does a purge line, and this is G-code specific, right? So it does a purge line, which is usually the point where you want to be purging your filament before you then start. It purges and then it wipes it. What I'd prefer to see is to wipe the nozzle, then do the purge line. It doesn't make a lot of sense as to why it does it. I mean, I might be wrong, but it would make sense the other way around, right?
Yeah, let's just say the toilet paper isn't that full for about 60 hours of printing. So I don't know how effective it really is, but it goes into what it does is it does a purge line and moves the hot end to the back of the machine, and there is a rubber block back there, and just wipes the nozzle clean. But the problem is your print goes all the way to the front, again, or if it goes all that, if it's a big print, and you could still have a little bit of seepage. So
Yeah, it's strange. It is a little bit never white
from back to front.
Look, well, while you're here, let's do a giveaway. I'll just whip the win by scanning code back up. So if you want to scan, this is the one you want to scan. That's the one. 235 people have scanned that code. Yeah, it can. So just to explain that, it can be fixed through the G code. It's almost like someone's taken something and thought we've got to do these things. This is the process we've got to follow. But it just seemed like it was ran the wrong way. And if we cut to it right now, so you can see it doing. I'll just move this over. You see it doing its purge line. Now it's going to go to the back, and now it's going to do its little butt wipe. It's good to give it a good wipe.
A good wipe is always good. And that's actually, the travel there wasn't bad. You know, I did like where it was all the way to the front of the machine, so it didn't really mean much. But
yeah, so we're back to the sexy models again. So legitimately, so I had those issues, and again, that's what's just come off the build plate. It's super bright in here, and as K2 Kevin said, yeah, we've got quite a lot of light in here. People were saying that some of my videos were a bit too dark, and I've kind of gone the other way now, which is kind of weird. Let's have a look. Oh my god, hang on, what have we got here? And make sure you hit the like. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate that. Booked a flight and ordered a cocktail shaker. Sounds good to me. Did it dig deep? Yeah, maybe it did. Sexy models.
Well, the thing is you breathing that up. I was not told to do a bust, literally.
Yeah,
like, you showed that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so even up to yesterday, I was like, you know, what's the stream going to be like? You know, because I got it out of the box. There's two reasons for getting out of the box. One, because I hate doing a stream where I'm like the bamboo stream where I was like 3 hours into building a P1S upgrade. I was like, this is ridiculous. Everybody knows, well, most people know how to get a printer out of a box, and I appreciate that. If you're new, the instructions were good enough to follow by putting 2 bolts into the bottom of each of the Z-axis, screwing a screen on, peeling that back off, and adding a couple of extra bits and pieces to it. It wasn't that bad. Again, probably the video that you saw earlier that I played, it will pretty much be the same element to that. And then we're drilled down into the clipper side of things, because this is still, although it's there's a real defined problem with what people are calling clipper and what you can get access to. So if you put the IP address in, you go into fluid. Okay, so that doesn't mean that necessarily you've got root access. So that's a very different thing. Now, if you go into root access and you try and put what we would call vanilla clipper onto it, so you try and reinstall the complete image, this is not open source. Okay, so you can do all the modifications to the CFG file. You can do pretty much all the stuff that you'd want to do. Okay, at the moment, I don't believe it's got Moonraker, which allows you to give the webcam access to it. I've got a webcam plugged in here, by the way. It doesn't work because Moonraker's not been installed. So there's a bunch of testing that needs to happen around that, and I've certainly not got it to that point yet. But it would be good to see that we get an image file out of this, because if you try and install this over the top of it, raw, so to speak, you're going to have problems. And you know, I would hate for you to think that actually we can just install Clipper. Yes, I am in the UK. Installing Clipper, and then you basically brick the printer, or you cause kind of some other issues, and then you've got to wait for that to come out. Yes, the OS image, exactly that. So it is what it is. Now, real quick, John, if you just want to have a little talk just for a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo all the names in the wheel of names. So if you want to get back in there, get yourself.
So there's two sides to this. You know, you got the open source and you got support. So I understand from the community keeping things open source and open, right? Root access. I am a firm believer in that. But when you're pushing out a product and you have an average person, giving that root access just could cause more support tickets than what they need. So from a manufacturing standpoint, I understand that. It's like I was trying to compare that to your car. A person doesn't have access to the body control module, okay, for a reason, because they can mess it up.
Yeah,
so if
absolutely.
they're going to,
but there's another argument to that, John, and the argument very much comes down to Klipper is an open source piece of software, and gatekeeping that software goes against the licensing of the software.
It does,
and that's the real core issue of that, is that the people that made it believe that it should be produced for people that can just use it. Okay, yeah, sure, it's more complicated, but then Marlin was complicated as well. So if you don't know what you're doing, steer clear. If you know what you're doing, if you don't want to get involved with Klipper and you don't want to be, the great news about Klipper is you can drag and drop a file via IP, and then I can then just print it on this printer like I've just done there. There's no putting SD cards in. There's a USB slot on the front. You can use that if you want to. That's kind of the whole point. But the fundamentals of Marlin and Klipper was for it to be open source at the get-go, okay? And companies are not doing that, and they're going against that licensing. And that's where, and that might not matter to new people, but it will matter to people that believe that that's the fundamental flaw in any manufacturing process, is that you're not giving the people what they should get on release of that printer. So there's a whole, the great thing about Klipper over Marlin is that you can make changes on the fly. You can change something, save it, reboot the machine, you're done. On Marlin, what you had to do is reflash the card. There was a whole process. Generally, it would fail, or you'd have a problem with it, or you'd have to go. And that's how we met, actually, by flashing the SD cards. Bizarrely enough, with the Ender 5 or whatever it was. Yeah. So going from that to going to Klipper, this is great. That is a very positive thing. But in regards to getting root access at this particular point, we don't have that. You're not able to update Klipper from this file as well. So when you go in there, it will basically just have a blank element to it.
And that's the problem, is that people are going to watch videos, and that's the other point to this. They're going to be like, oh, I should be able to do this, and I can't. And then now the company's going to get flooded with those tickets instead. So, and that's where I was going to pivot to, is that I understand both ends of the spectrum, or both sides of the coin, however you want to use that analogy. But yeah, I'm a firm believer that I own the hardware. I should be able to do whatever I want with it. Don't lock me down. That's why I was never a fan of Apple, because I own it. I should be able to install what I want on it. But it's, again, they're trying to mitigate their support. How about we, before we do that, let's go through there's a lot of questions in chat. So there was one question about throwing it in an enclosure. Well, the enclosure has to be pretty darn big, because you have to compensate for the travel of your Y-axis on a bed sling. So there are enclosures out there, and they're more like grow tents. So they're just little. They're literally grow tents repurposed as enclosures. Plenty of them out there, but again, you're encasing your printer in the bottom where it has venting. And I'm just not a fan of putting them in grow tents, because the printer needs cooling.
Yeah. Ultimately, what Artillery have said is that they do intend to do that, and this is what everybody says. So if you take, you take Creality as a good example. Obviously, it's a company that I work with often. There are. Don't worry about the points, Maker B. This is just a form just for us to get your information and then just whack that straight in. So going back. So Creality have got a pledge to open source. That's their thing. We're pledging to open source. We're going to open this. We're going to open that. They've just done the KE. They've done the K1 just before that. We're still waiting for the SE. And at the minute, my V3 is open. Okay, so that whole thing is, a roadmap. Whereas when a company's saying to you, "Oh, we'll do it at some point," you don't really get that kind of satisfaction that actually that's going to happen. And like I say, for most people, it might not matter, but if it's supposed to be open source, because those companies have not paid for Klipper, they've not invested into it. Big Tree Tech and one or two others do pay into that, but most of these companies are just using it as freeware, and that is it is a hot chick. Yeah, we're printing the hot chick again. And I'll tell you, we won't get it finished because it takes a few hours, I think, or at least a couple of hours to do. But we're now forming some bataks at the moment, which is pleasurable. But I was just wanting to sort of show you kind of a motion movement, and we're printing at about 60 at the minute. I might up that though. Let's put that up to 200% and see if we can get it to fail. It might fail. It might look awful, but let's see what happens.
So I was asked what would make this printer perfect. Well, there's really no perfect printer, but first off, my opinion is getting rid of those leveling knobs. It should have hard standoffs on there. Trust your manufacturing process. Again, mine is definitely the hot end. I still like to see a manual, being able to manually back out the filament in case there's a clog instead of doing that wishful yank and hopefully everything works out. And a tensioner on the side because I know you can use an Allen wrench, but I like thumb screws. What else? Of course, what Sam said, root access, right?
Yeah,
so, and a clipper screen.
Feder from 3D Print SOS, and I mentioned him earlier because I also caught your stream at the tail end of it when like the benchy, just like the funnel on the benchy was just not good. And the reason I believe for that is they've come back to me because I had a few issues where for some reason it would just go, as I showed you earlier. We will get to this. We will get to this next giveaway in just a few moments. But just to sort of point this out again, we were getting these weird kind of deviations in the print, and this is down to speed and heat. And then again, we've gone from that to this, and actually the prints are more than reasonable. I would say they're pretty top notch at this point. So as I say, I'm quite happy with removing the that is it's a nice print, and
the torso print.
Yeah, the polymaker the polymaker red makes it all that better, of course. So yeah, Gentex here. How you doing, man? Hope you're well. Right, what's the speed of this? So the speed of it right now is 120 and 225. That's not a good angle. Let's put it back to this. So I mean, it will cope. That's that is sort of part of the tuning. That's part of the tuning process. If once you get into this, you watch any of Chuck Hullebuck tuning videos, right? There's no point in me reinventing the wheel and doing a video like that. Go to Chuck's website, go to Chuck's YouTube channel, and learn how to do that tuning. And you'll just your 3D printing journey will be magical. I guarantee it. And make sure you check out Tripod's Garage and also Feder as well, 3D Print SOS. I cannot wait to see you, dude. I'm super excited to see you. What I'm going to do, let's just get on with this next bit. I want to give away some more stuff, so let's just do that. Bear with me just for a moment. I'm just going to pop you over to here so you can watch that. It might fail, who knows? We can upset a few things. Right, we've got a lot of responses on here now. My word. Okay, let's do an export of that. Let's view this in sheets.
Now, if I win, you could say rigged all you want. But I'll give mine to the Free Heathen, which is also in Canada. So that's where mine would go to. Or I may just give him one if I win and then pass it on to someone.
Okay, let's go into the wheel of names. Let's input here.
Rigged already.
There's a lot of names. Okay, so let's shuffle this. Shuffle. These are good things. These are good things to have. Right, let's not mess about. Let's go over to. So you can enter.
Sure you share your screen. So when you're ready.
Don't worry. It's all good. I'm a professional here. I'm just making sure I've got all the names down.
I should know because I'm the one that messes up. I haven't actually done a live stream in a very long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the wheel of names.
How many people?
Am I live anywhere else?
284.
I think where am I live? I might be live on Facebook. I don't know. We're having fun. This is good. These are good things that's happening. Right. So let's not mess about. Let's get my polymaker tool out again.
Happier shooters are congratulating me.
Okay, so let's go with another 2 spools. Let's go with some polymaker filament to start with. Let's go and rock and roll with this. Right, here we go. Are you ready? Polymaker filament. Tom at 22. Polymaker filament. I will email you after the stream. Let's hit it again. Another roll of polymaker filament. Chris Mink. Wow. I know that guy. Polymaker filament. Let's do another one. This is fun. I like giving stuff away. Brendan Day, polymaker filament. Let's go again. Polymaker filament. One more time. LI 34. 34 polymaker filament. Okay, so next up then, and we'll just close that just for a second, we're going to give away a Artillery 3 Pro, which is the slightly smaller version of the Plus.
Yeah, I think that runs Marlin.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a big difference. So
it's the previous generation though as well. So the winner of that, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Brace yourselves, because it's going to get spinny with the pineapple right now. Okay, so the winner of the X3 Pro is Steve. Well done, Steve. Don't worry, I've got your email address, so I will be able to find you. That was exciting. Well, we're not finished yet, because we've still got another printer to give away. Let me just run on back to where we were to start with. Here we go. Where are we? Where art thou? Here we go. So, wow, is that me? That's a shocking thing to see. That is quite shocking and frightening. So, hopefully that's showing. No, it's not. Okay, let's show this screen now. Okay, so this is Clipper. This is what you can see. This is what we're talking about. That's the model that Artillery sent me to print on this. And there's a bunch of information that you can see here. You can see the speed of what it's going at. It's the third line down. And that's giving you flow, how many meters of filament you've used, actually how long the print's going to take, and what you're into it so far, times and dates and all that kind of crazy stuff as well. Again, you've got your heat information here, and you've got your bed heat information there as well. You can mess around with the speed. You can bring it up, you can take it down, you can mess around with your flow rate, pressure advance. All this is done live if you wish it to be. I don't have a light on here at the minute, and I probably should have. Let's turn the light on.
It's a really good LED light. But we all know that RGB is what makes things go faster.
Exactly right. You've got nozzle wipe. You can do a bunch of different things here. And again, I saw this My NeoPixel thing, but this doesn't do anything. And that would have been quite cool, because you could have changed the colours. It doesn't seem, unless I'm doing it wrong, it doesn't seem to do that. So not sure what that's all about. This is where you can change your acceleration settings. And if you want to try and speed a print up, that's kind of where you do it. Inside of the configuration, that's obviously here, and that's your printer file. And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you want to change steppers, if you want to change your hot end, if you want to put something a little bit more glam on there, like a slice engineering hot end or something like that, you can do that by changing the settings that are in here. And this is where all your core information is going to be in this printer, your bed leveling, all those good things. As I said before, the accelerometer, in order to get your input shaping, you have to buy a board and you have to plug it into the motherboard for that to work. Now, the other thing here is that you don't get. Normally, you'd get like an upgrade. You can normally upgrade a bunch of stuff. That is not here. It's closed down from that perspective. So you can't make any. If Clipper or Fluid does an upgrade, you won't get that upgrade under this current firmware. So there is a webcam log here though, but the webcam I've got doesn't work.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't tried the webcam. So
again, there's a history. There's a history of things that's been printed, or stuff that I tested and failed with, etc., and other stuff that they've been printing. You know, again, this is probably a carbon copy of, the original, number one that they sort of put out. Again, in regards to the temperatures, PID tuning didn't feel like it was a necessary thing. I think that's quite good within a degree. It seems to be kind of ramping quite nicely at the minute. So happy days.
Wexter's talking about the cleanup of your 3D scan. That it was quite a marvelous job. I saw the job there, Wexter.
Yeah. Yeah,
it definitely will make you go,
Thank you, Fruity Allison. Hope you're well. I'll catch you soon. QR code time. If you do want to buy one of these and you want to see what the X4 Plus has to offer for yourself, you haven't been a lucky winner. We've got one more printer to give away, and we do a couple of more spools of polymaker filament, and then we're probably going to head on out. If you want to know a little bit more about me, you can scan that code. That's the Discord channel code. It will actually take you to Twitter or X, and I can tell you now, certainly I do need the followers. Make sure you follow along with the magic, and that's somebody who knows that they've got more followers than me. She's not even looking. She's she knows. Yeah. Careful where you're pointing. So if you want to follow along, obviously make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, there's going to be more stuff to give away. Creality have given me a budget as a good example, and the budget is not a small budget. So I'm going to be giving away more Creality printers. You might notice in the background, if I can swizzle around here, we have got the K1C here. I need to get out of the box. There are printers down here that are yet to get out of the box, and obviously up here as well. So when I do a live stream, if I do a live stream, the deal is that I want to try and give away a 3D printer each time we do a live stream that I am hosting, etc., etc. That means that a lot of work has to go into that, because I've got to talk to the manufacturer. They've got to make sure that they send the printer. It's obviously comes back to me if they don't ship the printer or there's a problem or whatever. So there you go. Can a camera be included into it? There's a few more questions here. It could be, but it doesn't seem to work at the minute, and we'll see how that is.
I'll give it a try as well, because I've been printing off the USB stick, so I never really attempted to. And for the calibration, the screen shows that you can do it, but it uses a USB-C cord, and they don't include the module, so it's got capabilities for it.
Absolutely. There's another bad shot of that, and it's shifting. It's got some movement to it, and the print is nice. It's not like it's a nasty print. It does look.
There was a question asking what the differences of this versus like the Solvo SV07 and the Neptune 4 series. I'm like, well, I have the Neptune 4. I had the Neptune 4 and the Neptune 4 Max. So honestly, they're pretty similar, except for that big curtain fan. So, but it's actually the linear rails. I think it's just built a lot better.
Sorry. So also I gave away 2 printers this week, big format ones. I gave away the Anycubic Cobra Max, and I gave away the Neptune 3 Max. I'm a bit gutted about that printer, because the Neptune 3 Max was a good printer. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Artillery are doing a bigger printer than this. And that's coming out next.
Then you got more info than I have, so then it only makes sense that they go bigger. So
yeah, I think I saw that at Formnext. I think I saw a poster with possibly a 500, I could be wrong, but I believe it might have been a 500. So again, there's a lot of people out there that are still asking, what can I get for, what's the best printer that's a 500? Creality have now stopped doing their S5. So Comgrow, the T500, which is up there, which I'm yet to unbox. Again, that might be the next big thing, or it might be something like, I'm not lifting that down on my own. Trust me, I've already damaged myself with that. And we also saw Matt German trying to lift a printer out of the box and doing his.
At least it was a team lift. So
exactly. He was very lucky. Is there a way of eliminating the sanding lines? Yeah, I mean, depending on what you're doing, and that's a really deep conversation to be having. If you live in the UK or in Europe, you can buy a product called Motip, which is basically a spray putty. You run that up 3 times over the print, and that eliminates all the lines. Depending on what filament that you're using, you could also use like an IPA. So Polymaker do a product called Poly Smooth. It's massively undersold and underrated, and I know that Zombie Hedgehog's been doing some wonderful, I think they were snail prints. They looked amazing though, but it looks like a gloss finish on your print. So really, really cool. All you do is basically spray it with IPA, and then it melts all that kind of all the lines away. So other than that, Bondo, you can do a Bondo IPA mix and mix that all stuff together, and it looks all good. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Tyler, how are you? So Tyler, this is an interesting fact for you. Tyler, I sent him an Ender 3 V3. An Ender 3.
A B C D F G.
Which Ender 3 was it? Ender 3 S1 Pro a couple of weeks ago, and I think he's having a blast with that. Let me know how you're getting on, Tyler. You're a top man, and we're going to send you some Polymaker filament. So it's taken a little while to get it through to you, but we will get it through to you at some point. Zombie Hedgehog likes Poly Smooth. We all like Poly Smooth. I love Poly Smooth. I've got a Pick Droid that I had been printing last year that is printed in Poly Smooth. Yeah. XTC 3D. What's that? Oh, XTC is from Polysmooth. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this does do some, if you do it 0.2 or whatever. I don't know what this was. This was their included models, but pretty bad Z seam there. But otherwise,
yeah. The X4 Plus can print inside. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to print inside of an enclosure. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't not want to do that or would want to do that. It's entirely up to you. It depends what you're printing, of course. But, if you're looking to print it inside of an enclosure, you can certainly make one. It wouldn't be a major issue. For smoothing prints, what would you recommend? Okay, let's have a quick question here. What would you recommend for a first printer? I've decided on the A1, but it happened to be the day that I recalled them. Yeah, it's funny, actually, because I've got that very printer here. And somebody made a comment last night that I've got cardboard spools. Bear in mind, the Bamboo Lab A1 did not burst into flames and cause a fire. In fact, I don't believe, and I might be wrong, I certainly have never heard of an instance where a 3D printer has caused a house fire and it's been the direct result for that. I could be wrong, and I'm very happy to be wrong. Hold my hands up.
Maybe the ANET, but there was, we don't know how much is true to that. Do your own research, I guess.
3D for Life, reach out to me, send me a message, and we'll talk about it. You are late, Andre, but
everyone's on the ANET. See?
Everyone's on the ANET. Listen, the ANET was a printer that never really hit the shores of the UK, so we never got that. So I was Creality CR10. That was my main printer, and then I bought 3 S5s to do the R2D2 domes and stuff like that. So that was the whole thing. On Discord, reach out to me on Discord. Yeah, the things up there. So we're going to do the next couple of minutes. We're going to do the final giveaway, which is, let me just check my notes here. It is the X4 Plus, so you can win this very printer. Pez is complaining, and I don't know how to do that. And she's just said there's an issue with modding, and I am really. Do I have to do that for YouTube? She's nodding. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes. Let's get on to that. How do I do that? How do I go into settings and do that? So a couple of minutes just to hit that link, and then we'll have a quick check on the print, see where we're at. Tomorrow, it's actually tonight. So in a few hours' time, my Ender 3 V3 Core XZ 3D printing video drops on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and check that out when it goes live. I don't know how I add people to a mod. How do I do that? Anyone?
Well, you're.
Mod to YouTube.
I
Go to the
think don't
studio.
you click on it?
Community settings. Hang on. I don't know where the community settings are. There's so many options here. So I'm happy with this. Like as I said earlier, you know, people want to be dismissive and you know all that stuff. Here we go. I found it. Here you are. You're on. I think you're on. Let me know how you feel about that. Are you on? Does it work? Was somebody being rude?
I want to be a. Wexter wants to be a mod for no reason.
Mod Wexter, he mods you. He does.
He will mod you. We know that.
Yeah, I call it an enhancement. A nice.
I was going to say. I was going to say the same thing. An enhancement. So
I was quite happy with that. It was very funny, and I've still not really got any further with it.
Unfortunately, that once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, it's abusive to the eyes. That's for sure.
Very excellent.
Right, we've got a lot of people. A lot of people. There's
Hey, make sure you smash that like button. Get this algorithm going for this guy.
We've got Jazzy Fizzle, we've got Annie, we've got Gregory Morse, we've got Danob. Hang on, there's more coming in. Interesting stream. Something nice. Lovely. Okay. Right, I'm closing now. We've closed. We are closed. I'm going to remove all the people out of the original and fill it with new people.
Footprint is 300, 300, 400.
Say again?
Someone asked the footprint.
Yeah,
I don't have the workable footprint though. Overall machine dimensions or just the build dimensions?
Cool. Yeah, so it's a 300 by 400 on the bed size. Again, you know, it's I like it. It's a very good functioning printer. I've got no problems with it. It's still printing very nicely. I can't. There's a few things, as I mentioned, the accelerometer for PID tuning. That's a bit of a pain, but you know, if that's something that you need to do, the tuning on this has seemingly been okay once we got the temperature and we got the thermal issues done. By the time this goes, hopefully this goes out, you should also have some thermal compound that may be between the ceramic heater and the ceramic part and the metal part for the hot end. Should that be there, that's going to be a fix. If not, then maybe you just have to add it yourself if you do get a kind of problem with that. But you know, this is the problem, I guess, for the new user, that you know that might be something that's beyond them that they might not want to do. I'll get a tape measure and measure it. Give me a sec.
And to be fair, I didn't have any of those issues with mine. So, you know, I mean, I review what I get. Sam reviews what he gets. It's unbiased, so it just is what it is. So
it's 20 inches by 23, but of course you got the overhang now. You got the overhang for the bed. So I mean, I would certainly say, you know, 2 feet would be the you know, would be the optimal for what you're looking at.
I only got 1 foot, so
exactly that. Once again, guys, Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, Pez. Yeah. No worries. No worries, Liz. Yep. Keep calling her Pez like it's a thing. Cool. Okay. That's good. Right. Let's rock and roll with this. Any other questions? How many unloved printers have you got? I took a photo, and I'll show you the photo because I sent it to a friend of mine
Where are you located, David?
who was picking up stuff.
I'm always, local meetups, and times I need to get rid of equipment. So if you're in the area, that can always be a thing.
Where's Nick? I'll show you the storage room if I can find the. So if you can see this,
Oh, you're in Hoffman Estates. I grew up there. A little blurry.
it is blurry, isn't it? Let's see if we can. There you go.
Send me an email there, David. Oh, there you go.
There's about 60 machines. There's about 60 machines there that I need to start thinking about. I have to. No, you don't have to enter every time. You just enter once if you want to. According to 3D Jake, there we go. There's some more measurements for you. Again, it depends whether or not you have the screen mounted. The screen does come off, by the way. So it's like the old ColecoVision if you had one of those in the 80s. That's it's got the curly cord. The Neptune printers have a similar thing. This one's got a magnet on the back of it, which is pretty cool. Where can you buy that, Sam? Okay, thanks, Sam. Oh, $2. Is that a pancake? Let's look at that. Thank you, dude.
Oh man, we got Illinois representing here. We got Aurora, we got South Barrington, we got Hoffman Estates. Yeah.
Spin the wheel. He needs to go to bed. Okay, let's get on with it then. That's lots and lots of questions. Guys, I'll try and... no, the big giveaway is coming up now. So let's get the Polymaker box out again. Thank you once again to Polymaker. Are you ready?
They want to bring because Liz and Webster is like, why is she still in backstage?
No, she's not. She's now she's got admin rights. She's quite happily messing around with things in the background, I'm guessing. Right, Wheel of Names. Are you ready? I've just imported that.
Norwich, Illinois. Man. Well, I won't be living in the land of rust and corruption for all my life. In 4 years, we'll be moving. So when Sam visits, he'll be visiting a different state.
He's been saying that for 5 years. Right, here we go.
It went down by 1 year. I said 4 now. Come on.
That's true. That is true. All right, so let's rock and roll. Let's do a little shuffle here. Shuffle. We've got 510 entries in there now. That's 510, which is interesting because we don't have 510 people watching. So, so this is going to be for Polymaker filament again. We'll give another 2 away. So let's hit the button and see what we've got. Like I said before, what I'll do after the stream is I'll sit here and do my admin, which means I'll contact you. Matthew has won some Polymaker. The good news is, Matthew, that I know who you are. Right, we'll do another Polymaker. So basically, when this comes in, it'll say Matthew, and then it'll give an email address. So I'll email you. Polymaker final to Donald.
Donald, nice.
Well done, Donald. And we'll do one more Polymaker. Are you ready? Clement. Congratulations. How exciting. Right then. So this is going to be for the brand spanking new in the box, straight to your doorstep giveaway, very kindly donated by Artillery. The moment that you've been waiting for, which is for the X4 Plus, which again, we've been working with here. I don't think there's a huge amount that you need to do to make this a perfect printer. So I think it's going to be a good one for anybody that has currently got printers and wants something maybe a bit bigger, or a new user. So good luck. Are you ready? Let's just have a look at the chat. Are you ready? Are people excited? Tripod's very excited there. Don't forget, by the way, Saturday night, 3DHP, over on the Jerry stream, where you can see all the creators. That's normally at 8 p.m. GMT. I think that's, I don't know what time that is in the US. It's about
like
lunchtime in the US.
Yeah, it's like early afternoon. Just say early
Early
afternoon.
afternoon.
Sometimes he changes the schedule around a little bit here and there, but
Here
early
we go.
afternoon.
Here we go. This is where the magic happens. Our winner of the X4 Plus, ladies and gentlemen, an hour and a half into this stream is Andrew Moscray. Andrew Moscray. Congratulations. You've won the X4 Plus. Now that is pretty staggering, I would say. I like it. That was good. That was good fun. So we're going to remove this for a second. Congratulations, Andrew. What I'll do is after the stream, I'll send you guys an email. Anybody that's been in there, if your name is like Matthew, okay, and your name's Matthew, and maybe someone else's name's Matthew as well, more than one Matthew in the world, the name is donated by the email. So if you don't get an email and your name happens to be Matthew, don't worry. Don't worry. Because it might not be you. It might be the other Matthew. So that's how it works. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. John, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I do appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
No problem.
As a fellow X4 Plus user with a positive experience, does it have a regular volcano? I don't think it does. I think there's something. I think regarding the nozzle throat, I think it's a volcano size, but the actual hot end, the actual peak of the nozzle is different. There it is, live and unleashed. It's not the same. Are we going to talk about my ceiling lights? Yes. What do you want to know? These are LED lights. I can kind of move this up a little bit. It does the whole ceiling, and they are mainly going to be used. They're mainly used in like show. Wait, what the hell's that? I thought I was actually falling. Then I was like, oh. It's mainly used in workshops for details and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, if you want to know where you can get them from, send me a message, because what happened is this. I went to go and buy some of these. They were going to be 700 Great British pounds in the UK, and I was about to hit the order, and lo and behold, I thought, you know what, I'll go on YouTube and see if anyone else has bought these on AliExpress. And you'll never guess, my good buddy Michael Laws from Teaching Tech, he also has a sister channel where he does like Grand Prix racing and prints different things for his little car. Great guy, great content creator, but he's got some of these lights in his garage or garage, depending on where you're from. And I reached out to him, but also found the place that he'd ordered these from, reached out to them, and these ended up being £200. So absolutely amazing. Oh, what a feeling we are streaming on the ceiling. Indeed. Wexter, congratulations for not winning. It's really good to see you. I'll send you something. I'll send you something anyway. I love you a little bit. You're a good man. You're a good man.
Listen to a 3D print scan of himself.
Exactly. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Listen, be positive, be safe, keep doing what you're doing, and at the end of the day, just make sure that you're not laying the smack down on someone that doesn't deserve it, like your fellow shill or content creator, the real Sam Prentice. I'm here to give a balanced view, and my opinions are my own, and hopefully you get something out of that. Congratulations to all winners tonight. I've now got the arduous job of taking all these names and basically putting it into a format and emailing everybody. So thank you very much for joining me. John, Tripod's Garage, you're on YouTube, obviously. Where can they find you?
Tripod's Garage, all one word, anywhere. Even in my house. Or in my garage.
Even on your hat.
Yeah. So,
Fabulous.
and I'll be at Rocky Mountain. So, yeah, I'll be there.
And I'll be at Rocky Mountain as well.
Yeah.
So I'll see you there, if not before, and I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the love. And if you are in the US and you are deciding to stay up for the Creality stream at 1:30 a.m. In the morning GMT, so that's a few hours away from here, you never know who might turn up on the stream. It's me. Anyway, take care. See you soon.